I'm Donglin Shen from EJL Wireless. We are the small consulting firm as Analyst from United States. So we're talking about network transformation. We need to understand where the communication networks come from. So I would say human communications. That's very important, where we actually come from. So basically, more effective communication is face-to-face. Direct communication use human sense organ to generate information pass around. So that's very directly, and that's something we have to reach even through the communication system or the technologies we try to do, right? But face-to-face communication has a limitation. We have to expand the reach. That's the telecommunication came into the picture. But today, the modern telecommunication system is not only deliver the information from generated from body, and also have information generated from computer machines. That's another big portion, yeah, for the modern communication system. So it's what's desired the communication network? Of course, it should be same as what we communicate face-to-face, right? And regard very easy and fast connection. It doesn't take minutes or seconds to get connected from one point to another point, right? Then you have to be reliable. And then to manage these things with modern system is really complicated, yeah. So that has to be done efficiently and effectively. That's people talking about zero touch. So we see the information accurately pass through. There are two types. One type is generated by the human being. It's through our body. Another type is really machine. And this one, it doesn't increase too much because that's a limitation by the human itself, our body limitation. But this one, it could be increased and a lot. So far, we still don't know how much will be increased or when it will be end, but I think that's a reality. Since the communication network invented, and we have gone through so many different technologies, but fundamentally, there's two types of technologies. That's a media. One is wireless, another one is wireline. And actually, it doesn't matter if wireless or wireline. All the objectives get information delivered from one point to another point. I think that's important thing. So I think what we try to do down the road, we should not get wireless and the wireline network continue separately. It should be a same consolidated network. Wireless is really the flexible access, gave us a lot of the convenience. And wireline is reliable and has much better bandwidth. So I think that's the way we should be. And we're talking about mobile edge computing. That's something that's popular these days. But mobile edge computing, what it is? And in the past, we're talking about distributed processing. It's something, it's a similar concept. And we're also talking about pervasive processing. And the principle to do things better is try to do locally. If it's not necessary to get information to the upper layers, and we should get down as soon as possible. That's more efficient way, right way to do things. So I think MEC is nothing new. It's the concept have been with us all the time. But just now, the network evolved to this stage, and the edge computing, we have to use that effectively, efficiently. So that's why we say, most important thing, we always get the best communication link. That's important. And another big thing is IoT and IoT industry, IoT. That's a big thing, machine to machine. And they have so many requirements from the industry, but we have to realize current network, PS domain network, it's really challenging to deliver things like ultra reliable, low latency communications, right? And especially for the manufacturers, if you say we want to fully reprogrammable connections, that's another big challenge. And the most important thing is current cellular network or packet domain network is multi-hop network. It's store forward. And that's a killer for ultra reliable low latency. And if we really want to support industry IoT, we do need a significant change to our existing network architecture. So with the 5G core network, and we have new architecture, try to separate and control plane and the user plane completely separated. That makes this more work efficiently. And in the past, the PS domain control and the user plane always mixed together. That's a big challenge as well. But we have to, if we really want to make this a 5G core network effectively, efficiently, and we have to meet this fundamental requirement. It has to be open and has to be transparent and interoperable. We had a lot of discussions and in the industry about interoperabilities, and there's a fight between vendor side and the service provider side. But that's more like a business issue. That's a challenge to us. We have to find out a way to get things resolved properly. So especially we're talking about multiple CSP domains. That's a big challenge. And look at what we're talking about in this conference, and SD-WAN, all kind of things, and FVSDNs, almost everybody talking about their own stuff, how much they are interoperable. That need a lot of extra effort to reach that goal. But that's not what we really want from the industry down the road in the future. Okay.
This picture is accurate, or does it miss the charging function?
Okay, yeah, I didn't get the new one. At the time I prepared slides, I used whatever available. Yeah, they're charging.
Not accurate, it should include the charging function.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Understand that, yeah. So we're talking about the business and technology challenges down the road for the technology network transformation. I think that's in the new network architectures and the resource management and the orchestrations and the mobile edge computing, and another thing is communication protocols enhancement. I think it's 2 years ago for this conference, people talking about next generation protocols because current TCP/IP has been 14 years. And does this still work well? And that's a question we should ask ourselves. And what we need to do, if we need to do something, we have to do something earlier to find out better solution for that. And then the new service architecture. Look at all the business issues, argument here between service providers and the equipment vendors. And do we have another new business model can satisfy both sides' need? I think that needs some creativity. And does the government can do anything, and who can do something? It's something we have to get resolved.
Yes, that's charging function.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's right. Charging is important because that's most important is the business. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then a lot of people talking about automations and AI, but I have to make sure it's automations. It's not equal to AI. We have to understand. And not, A lot of things is really automation for us, but AI is something down the road in the future. We should not use AI to interfere too much our current technology innovation. Yeah. So I think this interoperability is a big issue for this industry, and we have to address that in the. Okay, so that's the end of my open remarks.